Hey, let's talk about my home buying video that I'm working on for the main channel. Just tell you the stuff I learned that will probably spoil the main channel video, but hey, it's me. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. So I'm working on this home buying video for my main channel. China and I just bought a home. This isn't the home. We haven't moved in yet. So I decided to do a video to analyze home buying versus renting. Is it a good idea? Probably should have done that before we bought the home. I think it's going to be called Why Do People Like Owning a Home? I interviewed several people. Interviewed my wife. Interviewed my parents. Interviewed our realtor. Sorry. I know some of you have a problem with that pronunciation. I do too. I hate myself. I interviewed Chelsea Fagan from The Financial Diet. Their website, their YouTube channel helps people with finances. Interviewed James Altucher, who is a blogger, author, entrepreneur, financial investor guy. He wrote an article called Don't Buy a Home. So I interviewed him. And the conclusions I think I've reached are, so this is spoiling the main channel video. But if you don't want to know, don't listen. But the main channel video will explain all of this way better than I'm going to explain it now off the top of my head. And I'll probably say things wrong. Buying a home for financial purposes as a financial investment is a terrible investment. It's a terrible thing to do if your only goal is to make money. It's a terrible investment. That's according to James Altucher. I think everyone else would probably agree if it was your only purpose in making money, it's not the best thing you can do. I agree. Because you put money into a house and property, which property grows, historically, the property value grows less than stocks or mutual funds or other ways to invest. And another major reason, real estate is illiquid. The money that you put into real estate is harder to get out, to get back. It takes time. You have to sell a house. You have to find a buyer. The closing costs of selling a house. So like if the market tanks like it did in 2008, the people who needed the money, when they needed the money the most is when they couldn't get it, because housing prices go down. People need to sell their houses. So many people need to sell their houses. So it's really hard to find someone to buy the house. And if they do buy the house, they're going to buy it for less than you paid, maybe, if the market tanks is like it did in 2008. And it's going to take a while to get that money that you need now. Whereas if you're investing in stocks, they start to go down, you get a little nervous, take the money out right away. I'm kind of paraphrasing James Altucher, the guy I interviewed. So it's safer investing in stocks in general. People say that investing in property is the safe thing to do. Maybe a lot of the time it is, but when it crashes, you can't get the money out. That's the problem. If you're just looking to make money, don't buy a house. And I think most people are probably on board with that. On the other hand, I think it was a good idea for us to buy a house still, because we have savings. I still have savings even after our down payment of our house. So if things get bad, if we need money, we have some money set aside. A lot of people who buy homes, though, they don't. They go in all in and don't have anything to fall back on. Maybe then that's a little risky. We have savings and we want to stay in a place for a long time. We want to live in a home that we are in control of, that we can fix up, we can make the way that we want to, because we own it. We don't have a landlord telling us what we can and can't do. But of course that costs a lot of money to fix appliances, to buy new appliances, to fix a roof, to paint a house, to do all sorts of things. It costs money. But if we slowly do that over time, slowly pay off our mortgage, have savings in the meantime in case something goes wrong, we'll be living in a place that we want to live, making it the way that we want it to be. And our daughter will grow up we'll have a little more continuity where she lives. She won't be moving around a lot. We're near grandparents who can help out. There's a good school system where we're moving. We could have rented instead. We could have rented a house. But looking at the prices, it seems like we would be paying the same or a little more in rent for the type of house we want, and we wouldn't be able to make it more how we want it. I mean, I think it's a judgment call whether it's the right thing to do or not, but it seems for us like the right thing. And James Altucher, the guy who wrote the article Don't Buy a House, seemed to agree that we'll probably be okay. Maybe he was just being nice. I don't know. Chelsea Fagan seems to think that, if you want to have a family and want to live in a place for a longer amount of time, it's probably a good idea. Our realtor obviously thinks it's a good idea. Realtor. Sorry. I know some of you have a problem with that pronunciation. I do too. I hate myself. My parents think it's a good idea. They bought a house in the 70s for $40,000, which is ridiculous. They lived in it for 42 years now. Clearly the right decision for them. Property value grew, so it's very nice. Things are different now, especially after 2008 when you buy a home. No guarantee. Now everyone's uncertain. Like, is property value going to keep going up? Is it going to crash? And it probably will. Maybe it will crash again. But if you have enough to weather the storm, you'll probably be okay. Nothing's certain. But the general conclusion I've come to is that for pure finances, it's not a good idea to buy a home. For depending on what you want. If you want to live in a place for a while and you want to control and you have the money to fix up a place the way that you want it, if you just know that you're going to be there a while and you're going to be happy being there a while, then it's probably a good idea to buy a home. So that's the general conclusion I've come to, which is not a shocking conclusion, but that's just true. And I thought I'd just make this video telling you, because this is what I'm thinking about, this is what I've been working on in the past several weeks. And I like doing these videos where I'm just telling you from the gut, no planning, what I'm thinking about these topics. So you're getting like a true reaction that I have. And then the main channel video will be much more organized and thought out and accurate. And it won't be just me spewing my opinions at you. And it'll be a little fun. It's going to be a little fun, you guys. How about that Game of Thrones ending? No spoilers. Well, just everybody be careful looking at the comments. In general, here's my take on Game of Thrones. And I know a lot of people will disagree. A lot of people are like, it's good. You guys are complaining too much. Or people are like, this is truly terrible. I think ever since the show surpassed the books, it became not as good. It was very much... See, the books were like... I've started reading the books, but the show based on the books that existed. Very thoughtful character... consistency, and in general people felt like they were making real choices, and things were, even though this is a fantasy show with dragons, where things were progressing in a very logical way. It just felt natural, like the way things unfolded, not necessarily forced. As soon as they surpassed the books, it became forced. The pacing became really fast. Characters would move from location to location, and the moments were propped up to seem bigger and more flashy in Hollywood. Suddenly certain characters started going on this traditional Hollywood story arc. And it wasn't as drawn in. It felt more like I could see the Hollywood writers where they were going. By the end, I feel like it's still that. And it's fine with me. There's clearly things that you could point to that are flawed or inconsistent or don't make sense or are disappointing. And I maybe wouldn't disagree, but I probably would just feel less strongly about it. I think it ended okay. It's fine. Once they surpass the books, there's still great moments to see. I think it's worth watching the whole show. I've seen shows end way worse than Game of Thrones. That's my opinion. Next video, probably in a week, the 36 questions video. After that will be the home buying video. And after that will be the minimalism video, I believe. Video about minimalism. And then after that, a video about... I was thinking doing a video about barefoot jogging, so I might do that after. But I know a lot of people are like, don't just jump into barefoot jogging. Get it, jump like you jump with your... That's not even that great of a pun or anything. I'm not going to just jump right into it. There's that Philip DeFranco reference again on accident. I will work up to barefoot jogging however I have to. I haven't really looked into it. If it's going to take longer than the time I have now from when I want to make the video, I won't do it. So don't worry. I am going to meditate every day through June, and then in July put up a meditation video. People tell me that I need more time with meditation too. It takes a long time to learn how to do it well. And yeah, those are things I'm just going to learn along the way. And if it's not enough time, I will be very clear about that. But this is probably how I'm going to do it. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good week. I do these videos every day on Patreon. And latest video up on the screen on the main channel, latest video, and Wheezy Monday playlist. And you're beautiful. Don't be a dingus.